Al Jazeera is from Qatar. It's an oil-rich Arab nation under dictatorial rule. After the Crown Prince of Qatar overthrew his father in a coup, one of his first moves was to shut down the BBC's new Middle Eastern bureau. Why? Well, because the BBC planned to do a documentary exposing executions under Sharia law. That wasn't the kind of network they wanted to fund. So Al Jazeera was born. It was born out of the love and respect for Sharia law. Certainly not our Constitution or the freedom of man. And in fact, they have always been anti-American, and that has really never gone away. In the aftermath of 9/11, Al Jazeera was obtaining and airing terror tapes directly from terrorists and protecting their identities. Normally, concealing a source is a time-honored tradition in the media, but when your source is responsible for thousands of murders, there's nothing honorable about protecting them. When America was wounded, they were giving voice, aid, and comfort to the terrorists. In fact, one of their main sources of revenue, aside from oil subsidies, was opening up offices in al-Qaeda and Taliban-controlled neighborhoods so they could get a foothold and footage from dangerous areas and sell it. They were literally profiting off of terrorists. That's why some of their offices were damaged during strikes on al-Qaeda hangouts, because they were hanging out with al-Qaeda. Less than a month after 9/11, Al Jazeera aired an exclusive bin Laden audio tape and a steady stream of propaganda pictures, including dead children and other alleged victims. But oftentimes the footage wasn't real or from something other than American bombings. In November 2001, they aired another exclusive. Al Jazeera decided they wanted to feature bin Laden's young sons wielding AK-47s. The day after Christmas, 2001, another bin Laden tape aired in which he praised terrorism efforts against the U.S. They aired footage of a 22-year-old American being beheaded. Was it only a horrible thing to air, it wasn't even real. They have consistently aired footage of American hostages being held against their will by terrorists threatening to behead them. This is not a network with opposing views. Al Jazeera is as close to the enemy of the state as any media can get. And quite honestly, in today's America, that's pretty hard to beat. Think about how much faster we could have defeated and killed bin Laden if they just would have tipped us off who dropped off the tapes. That's how we eventually got him, through a courier. Al Jazeera was the closest thing we had a lead on to bin Laden, and instead of helping us, they helped him. They chose to spread his propaganda. The question that you have to ask is, why would a network do this? Why? We know GE, they're selling wind turbines. Why Al Jazeera? Go back to their birth certificate. They are interested in the promotion and protection of Sharia law. In over a decade, they haven't changed, and the evidence of this is quite stark. In fact, let me give you the latest, what happened in their Egyptian bureau during the recent violence. The Blaze showed the violence and the killing of the Coptic Christians to you just last night. However, Al Jazeera had a different spin. The Egyptian bureau of Al Jazeera all walked out because their global corporate brass told them to slant their coverage to favor the Muslim Brotherhood. Maybe that's why the president and Hillary Clinton both praise Al Jazeera.